Who?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit different. A little like this lightness, this contrast, a little bit weird. But hey, welcome back, folks. And I'm scratching my head because Americans just don't seem to take it easy, and especially the American media, who has this affinity for, and like we see with other liberal media, how can we turn a mess into a real mess? And Donald Trump has really gone in there and he's made some crazy, crazy changes while in office, and people are saying it's the end of the world and it's the da, 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 da. But even as he's offering federal employees the opportunity to resign and get a pension and this and that, the left has gone nuts again, even though this is all about trying to create a better America. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rant Network. I'm David Solomon. He is Stuart Brisgell. We are the Rant Network. We're unedited, uncensored, unfiltered, and really, we are very quite unapologetic. We talk about a wide range of topics. This platform is really all about you, about the topics that really, sadly, no one wants to talk about because your friends might get mad at you. People might yell at you. But we have to talk about this, and that is what we do here at the Rat Network. So sit back and relax, as Stuart is still trying to deal with his technical issues, and we are jumping right in. So look, Stuart, I think this is absurd. Donald Trump's come into office barely a week and a half ago. And yet, this is his 10th day in office, and it's amazing. You would think he's been in office for the last 15 years with the way things are going. But boy, oh boy, is he rocking America. Stuart, what say you, my friend?
All right. If you didn't catch the insanity yesterday, you would have missed out on the best verbal dueling rant from the press secretary podium. Caroline Leavitt, this 27-year-old rockin' powerhouse, schooled ABC, NBC, CNN for the entire 50-minute, most probably informative press briefing with unscripted questions, unscripted answers, no binder in sight. And she literally took down the traditional old crusty media and introduced two new chairs to the non-traditional crony media, which, let me tell you something, that was the key to that entire briefing. In 100 hours, Donald J. Trump has written hundreds of orders, put in people that are doing what they say, how they say it, has a band of emissaries that basically look like Beverly Hills 90210 instead of the Muppet Show, and are doing what they have set out to do and said they were doing in the campaign, which is a shocker to everyone in D.C. And as Caroline took these questions, she took the thunder out of their sound bites by being transparent, honest, and remarkably honest. Well, wait a minute. Honest. The drones.
I'm sorry, Stuart. Could you forgive me? What is the definition of honesty? Because it doesn't seem like we got any of it in the last 4 years, Stuart. So what is honesty?
Honesty has a definition.
No, I mean the definition. I mean, what was
quality of being honest is basically giving the definition of facts.
Facts?
Yeah.
I don't think we've heard that in 4 years.
Well, the facts from the podium was Joe Biden was either in his office or more than likely sleeping upstairs in his room. Sleepy Joe for 4 years, the media covered for, remarkably knew that the drones were set out and approved by the FAA and were not some criminal. Now, you know why they let you believe it was a criminal conspiracy? To try and take the news cycle away from Donald J. Listen, they tried to convict him. They tried to empty his bank account. They tried to put him behind bars. They tried putting him in an orange jumpsuit. They tried to assassinate him, not once, but we know for twice. There's a hit squad from the Iranian regime out to kill Donald J. Trump. You know what? I got to tell you something. Do you know what the next order of business was? Let's stop all the stupid waste that the U.S. government is spending money on. When instead of charging tariffs to Canada, we just reclaimed $50 million for sending money to buying condoms from Gaza. Now, Trojan is probably a little upset, but Caterpillar is absolutely elated as now the current government released 350 bulldozers that were purchased by Israel that the Biden administration didn't let you get. I mean, there's so much nonsense. You know what? Do you realize that all these Democrats and these wonderful sanctuary cities are now being schooled and called out? You know, you let murderers, you know, you let out on the street, you know, you let people that molested children, you know that you let rapists out. And wait a minute. Do you realize, David, they're arresting criminals now?
What?
Hey, hang on a second. They're actually putting criminals behind bars. And you know what else they're doing? They're repatriating them to the country in which they came. Like, you know, Nancy Pelosi, her husband was beaten by some crazy vagrant who is known to have mental health issues. We're now going to deport him back to Canada.
Woo, we're going to bring him back to the land of the nutcases. All right.
Little Justin
All right.
is going to relinquish his throne to Governor Gretzky. And, you know, I'm saying that really sarcastically because you know what? This is how ridiculous the Canadian government has been, as well as the Colombian government was, rejecting the plan. You know what? Would you want convicted murderer, rapists, people that are known to being aggressive and not have them in handcuffs while you're transporting them? I don't know. You ever see the movie Con Air, David? Remember Con Air?
No.
Okay. I mean, it was in 1980. I think it was, what's his name? Nicolas Cage movie. You know, at the end of the day, what's gone on yesterday, 100 hours, shows that Donald J. Trump isn't responsible for the price of your eggs, and that the people that he's putting in positions are actually qualified and have been delivering for the last 100 hours everything they said they were going to do. Now, Joe Biden said he was going to govern from the center. Yep. Okay. Camilla Harris was the border czar, and she fixed immigration. Yep, I see that. Like think about this for a second. Guys, think about this for a second. We're deporting illegal aliens from the United States. You know what? If I went to Canada and I showed up at a border and I said, I want immigration status, they'll say, well, here's an application. Go online to www.ca and you can fill out your application. You know, there is a process in every fucking country. And you know what? Order has been restored to the United States. You know what? Canadians as a whole and Europeans hate the American bravado where we think we're better than you. But you want to know something? It's not that we think we're better than you. I mean, that's just the excuse that other countries that are inferior want to say. We're just doing Americanism. You know what? We're going to take care of ourselves. And because we're going to be a healthy 250-year experiment that's been successful, you will also be successful as well. Because you know what? There would not be a North America without the United States today. There would not be freedom if there wasn't free United States today. The insanity in the world would enthrone. The Axis would take over and the Allies would end. I'm sorry, David. There is not a single encounter that hasn't been due to the Americans being American. It's just, I'm sorry, David. You know, it's not being arrogant. It's just being matter of fact. You would not have the end of World War I or World War II if it wasn't for America. Not that Canada didn't hold its part, but let's understand this for a second. Where is the brute, the might, and the tip of the saber? It's the United States of America. Guys, we're back.
Well, Stuart, I'm laughing because, the absurdity here in the United States it's off the charts. Okay. We just look at the confirmation hearings and what they tried to do. And now they're doing it to RFK, that he's going to wacky doodle stuff and whatever. What Donald Trump has done, which is fascinating, is he's challenging conventional thinking. If you sit down with some of the greatest business owners of all time, whether it's an Elon Musk, or even now Jeff Bezos, they're going and challenging status quo. What they don't want to hear ever is this. In business they say to you, if you hear this, your company's in trouble. So how come we've done this? Well, we've always done it this way. And that's been the American political system. We've always done it this way. So therefore, it can't be broken. Don't break it. Don't touch it. Don't fix it, because we've always done it this way. You hear one word missing. We haven't done it the right way. And the United States, in Canada, and England, and France needs a major overhaul. And Donald Trump has brought in the right people into government to try to create that overhaul. Pete Hegseth to go and challenge the military, to get rid of the stupid policies, to create a better army, because the United States could very well be in trouble. God knows when, if the China, Russia, and God knows what other threats are going to come through. You look at Christine Nome, what she's been doing, Tom Homan, all of these folks have sit there and going, we want to bring we're changing the stupidity that's been here in the United States. When the first mass deportation hit with the migrants, these illegal migrants, the first comment you heard was, who's getting deported? And the blue mayors and the blue governors and the blue senators and governors, and they're all screaming and yelling, going, no, you can't take these people away. And what you heard from Tom Homan is, you want to harbor criminals in your community. Could you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, that you're living in your city and you find out that you have criminals in your city because your politician is playing politics with your life? So such crazy lack of normalcy. Now, Tim Walz yesterday was interviewed on his favorite channel, MSDNC or MSNBC, whatever you want to call it, with Rachel Maddow. And he said that the party has lost its mind. The media is focusing on the wrong things. To try to take away from the good that's trying to emerge from all this in these 10 days, they're going to focus on Elon Musk's arm.
By the way, I just want to point out, Elon's arm was out Auschwitz, was out Birkenauer.
Yeah.
Has given more aid to Israel. I'd like to ask you, where's Kamala Harris, tampon Tim?
Well,
don't even get me started with these left-wing nutcases.
No,
Listen, David, they have tried every single day since Donald Trump was elected president. They have tried to associate him and the Republicans to Hitler. And I'm just sick and fucking tired of their insanity. I want them to understand, you know what? If Fetterman out of Philadelphia got grilled by The View for how dare you meet with that man, you know what? Fuck you. I don't want to hear about these 5 cackle ladies who should be put in a senior's residence. But here's the thing. To me, right now, as I look, you got Vladimir Zelensky who's sitting there going, Biden's nervous about Trump. You've got Hamas and you've got Hezbollah and you have the Houthis suddenly shaking a bit in their boots because the Donald Trump that's in the White House is scary. What all of these international leaders said was, with Biden, we knew what we were going to get. Soft. With Donald Trump, we're getting hard, we're getting nervous, we're actually getting scared. And there's a semblance of order. But what do people like to do? They like when things are good, we got to put the stick in the spokes of the wheels. And so even in Vogue magazine going after the First Lady's official portrait, I mean, do you know that Melania was the first lady not to appear on the cover of any women's magazines? This is just the way the left, the media want to rattle things. When things are good, let's find the bad. And what you said from the beginning about what the White House press room is exactly going to find the bad. We consume media today differently. Yep.
Traditional media doesn't believe that its place is
No. That whole ploy is to take away command and control and put the control back in the people. David, we got to wrap.
I know, but Stuart, let me throw one more thing at you, okay? There was something that just came through my feed, and my kudos to Newsmax because I didn't see this anywhere. But they just evaluated that American kids are behind in school in reading. Yeah. And you know what that is? That's an indictment on the education system. And if this is why things need to get challenged, instead of talking about tampons in bathrooms, instead of focusing on DEI policies, let's get our kids competitive on a global scale. Stuart, last word to you, my friend. Well, I guess you want to wrap? Well, folks, I think that's it. Stuart has had enough for one day. Joining us today, guys. We will see you Monday. All right, for another rant.